Hello and welcome back to 8-Bit Reviews, the channel where we summarize, review, and rate different VR games. Today's game is Bonelab. So Bonelab is a physics-based sandbox game with a playable campaign that correlates to the story, and then other activities that you can do. So let's go into those activities. So our first area is Tac Trial. Now this just has 3 levels of different areas that you can use to upgrade your gun skills and combat skills. So it would be you advance through feeding different mobs. So you have Street Puncher, Drop Hit, and Neon District Tac Trial. Arena is our second area. Now Arena there's multiple maps that you can do where you're in a big arena with enemies coming at you with different waves that you have to fight off. And these maps are Magma Gate, Container Yard, Fantasy Arena, and Tunnel Tipper. Our third area is Sandbox. Sandbox has multiple different maps that you can use to play around with physics and different objects that you can spawn in using the spawn gun. And the maps here are Gun Range, Halfway Park, Hollow Chamber, Museum Basement, and Tuscany. Our fourth area is Parkour. Parkour has multiple different maps to upgrade your climbing and parkour skills here in Bonelab. The maps are Sprint Bridge 4, Dungeon Warrior, Neon District Parkour, and Rooftops. Our fifth area is Experimental. This area has 3 different maps for you to play around with the different aspects of Bonelab. So you would have Baseline, Big Bone Bowling, and Mirror. Our sixth and final area is the mods section. This is where you would download your mods and browse through different mods levels if you download a level. And finally, there's this little area where you have your info page, the body mall, and a mirror where you can check out your avatars from the body mall. And another important detail of Bonelab is your holster. So you would have 2 pistol holsters right next to your chest. You have an ammo on your hip, as well as behind your hip you have a pocket where you can hold different stuff, and you have 2 behind your shoulders where you can hold guns or swords. First, the things I love about Bonelab. I love the variety of items there are in Bonelab and how you can play around, and I like how realistic the physics are as well. And another thing I like is the variety of avatars there are. You can use the body mall to switch between different avatars that have different attributes to help you out with different puzzles that's happening inside of the game. Now on the things I dislike about Bonelab. I don't like how there's no multiplayer. I feel like Bonelab would be an amazing game if it had multiplayer. Now there are mods you can get like Fusion to get multiplayer and play with other people, but that's soft locked to PC VR players and not standalone if you have a Quest or Oculus. You don't have access to the multiplayer and Fusion. You're stuck with single player. So I think that Bonelab creators should definitely add a multiplayer function in the future, part of the base game. I also don't like the climbing mechanics. For a physics-based game, the climbing is just confusing and weird. Like, you can't simply push yourself up onto the floor. You have to figure out the right way that works for you and your VR and your environment. It's not as easy as just pushing yourself up. You have to figure out a way to do it. And pulling yourself up is kind of janky. It's weird. I just think that they should fix that climbing aspect, especially for a physics-based sandbox game. Next, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the rating of Bonelab. Now, in the review, I talked about 2 things that were very important to the gameplay, especially with the climbing. If it's a physics-based game, you should have good climbing mechanics, but Bonelab lacks that. So I really think they should do something about that. And then also multiplayer. Multiplayer really adds to the feel of a VR game and makes it more fun and more immersive and just a lot more you know, community like, and it just adds to the experience of a VR game. I feel like all the VR games I've ever played are mostly multiplayer to engage with the community, and Bonelab lacks at that aspect. Now, I do understand that it's a story game, but there are still the aspects that I feel like should be co op. There are games out there that are co op and they are story games. And they just make it, a lot more fun. And all those good clips you have are always from multiplayer stuff that you have on, funny clips are on multiplayer games. So, because of that, I'm going to give Bonelab VR a solid 7 out of 8 bits. And just because I gave Bonelab a 7 out of 8 bits doesn't mean I don't recommend the game. I actually fully recommend Bonelab. I think everyone should at least get a chance to play it, whether they buy it themselves or play it on a friend's VR. I still think Bonelab is a good game. So I recommend that you either try it out to see if you like it, and if you really want to, you can buy it and then just refund it if you don't like it. So, but I think everyone should at least try it once and then go from there if they want to actually buy it or not.